If you look at any dealership, they are loaded up with inventory and they can't sell these overpriced vehicles. And it's not even just the vehicles, it's also the financing. It's harder to get people approved. 1 in 5 people that come in to get financing, they're declined. They can't get approved. They have too much negative equity, they have bad credit, they're in a bad situation. They can't even buy a car even if they want to. And that's becoming an issue. And also, these banks, they're not stupid. They know people are not making their car payments. What have they all done? They've all increased their loan loss provision. You have AutoNation, you have Group 1 Automotive, some of the largest dealer networks in the United States. They're selling their Ford dealerships. They're selling their Dodge, Jeep, and Ram dealerships. They're really struggling, and they can't make a profit with them. So what are they doing? They're selling them, and it's crazy that some sucker is going to buy them. He's like, oh, thank you. I've been waiting on this opportunity to buy a dealership. And it's crazy because the only dealerships I really see selling, definitely Dodge, Jeep, and Ram, some Ford dealerships, and then Nissan dealerships. They constantly change hands, constantly. But it's really unfortunate because these dealers are screwed. Look at the inventory sitting at the lot, 500 plus days. 2022 still available, and it's about to be 2025. That never happened. Prior to 2019, yes, I was in the car business. It was very rare. You would have a new car maybe 200, maybe 300 days. Very, very rare. And I was at a luxury dealership that didn't sell many vehicles. We were at Acura, and we did have vehicles that sat a little bit longer. But honestly, new, maybe 250, the oldest ever. And that was a hybrid, and people just didn't want hybrid at that time in Oklahoma at all, especially in Acura. And then the other deal was CPO, used units. We had a few units that had a birthday, but it was so rare. And if they do sit, a lot of people ask, what happens if these vehicles sit? Because these vehicles now, if you go to any single dealership, pretty much they're going to have a vehicle that's been there over a year. A couple vehicles, most likely, that have had birthdays. That's not normal. A Ford dealership to be loaded up with 2024s, we're a month away from 2025, and you got to understand, manufacturers are normally ahead of this stuff. Normally 25s, like if you go to General Motors, they're already hitting the lots. They're all over the place. So they're in a sticky situation, and the problem is, what happens if a car never sells? A lot of people ask that question. There's always a but for every seat. It's just a fact. A car will always eventually sell. In worst case, the dealership will just take it to auction and take the loss, and that's what these dealerships need to do. A 2022 GMC Sierra, over $100,000, still on the lot. It's about to be 2025. It's insane. I can't believe it. And you go to these dealerships, 100K, 100K, 100K. Oh, we're not talking about Porsche, Mercedes. No, we're talking about a Ford, a Chevy, a Dodge. It's insane. The prices are obviously crazy. And yeah, some dealerships are bringing the discounts. I've seen $30,000 off. But not all dealerships do that, one. And two, the price got increased so much. So Stellantis increased their prices with Ram. They took it over in 2021, but the chart I have is from 2020 to 2024. 52% increase in MSRPs. So even with a $30,000 discount with Ram, it's still not enough. That's what everybody was saying in yesterday's video. Yeah, they're giving a discount 20K, 30K at some dealerships that really just need to sell stuff and they're just begging for customers to come in, but also it's still not enough. That's the end of the story. It's not enough. Everything's way, way overpriced. The fact that you have to give a $30,000 discount just shows you how bad these Ram pickup trucks are overpriced and how bad people don't want them. So it's going to be, grab your popcorn, guys, because it's starting to get real bad. And also wholesale values are going down at the auction. So these dealers are holding on to all this inventory. They can't just go to the auction and say, all right, let's get rid of it. No, they can, but they're going to take a loss. And it adds up. You know, they're financing this stuff with a floor plan. They're paying interest on it. Interest rates are still up there. And you have all these big banks. And did you know if you have bad credit or someone has bad credit, the dealership pays a fee to get that person approved. And sometimes these fees are crazy. They can be $500, $1,000, $1,500 bank fee. And like Santander, if a customer came in and said, I'm financed with Santander, most likely they're so upside down. It's a 21%. It's a terrible deal. Not every time. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying most of the time I've seen it's a bad situation. So these people, the dealership has no other option but to pay the fee, and it's just taken out of their profit, and then it makes them, sometimes they get even shadier, and then the dealership wants to add fees here and do this and try to do this, but then the financing won't allow them. The Santander, the company, the bank says, hey, you're only allowed to finance this amount. You can't do no warranties, no none of this. So the dealership's like, we don't even want to sell this car. We can't sell any of this BS that we can make all this money on. So it's a sticky situation for the dealerships, but hey, at the end of the day, nobody feels sorry for the dealerships. That's just a fact. But hey, let me know what you think. Do you think these dealerships are really struggling? What do you see in your local city? Do you see how loaded these dealerships are? Ford, Chevy, Ram, every single dealership loaded with inventory. Not all dealerships are even giving the discounts. But in my opinion, the car market it's going down big, and it's going to hit hard, and 2025 is going to be a rough year just because prices have to come back to normal. They can't keep going up. $100,000 F-150s. What world are we living in? It's insane. Wranglers, 100 grand. I mean, it's every single car you look at. A Dodge Hornet, 50 grand. What in the world? It makes no sense to me. Let me know what you think. Have a great day and stay blessed.